Welcome back to another episode of The Wandering Turnip explores unusual, weird, cheap things for sale on the property market. And I've got some absolute corkers for you today. We've got some actual house viewings of super cheap houses on the market. They're on for crazily cheap, so I can't imagine they're going to be great, but they look like a lot of fun to go and see. We've also got a shop that's for sale and also some cheap land. But because I've actually got property viewings today, I'm not just turning up somewhere that I can look at. I've got to blend in with estate agents. I've got to have the disguise. I thought I'd bring someone back, and a lot of you have been asking for him. So today, as I say, to blend in with the estate agents, I am becoming an agent of the estate. Turnip Property Sales and Lettings. Now look at it. I've got the Bluetooth headset on. I've got the suit that's just slightly too small. I've even got the bag. Check out the bag. Look at that. This disguise is absolutely everything I need to go unnoticed today as we view property. And this is what I've got to show you. So the first is a house, an actual house on for 30 grand guide price. Now how bad will it be? What's the catch? The next is a shop on for 20 grand, a shop that used to sell something quite interesting, and I think it'll be fun to explore. Then we've got some land, very cheap land for sale, on for 10 grand, and finally we'll finish off with another 30 grand house. So you might be thinking that the estate agent get-up is ridiculous. Well, you'd be wrong. I have in fact been recognised at property viewings before when I've just turned up as myself with a camera, and when I've done it like this, I've always gotten away with it. But not only that, there is a deep respect that is gained from when two rival estate agents come face to face for the first time at a property viewing. It's quite ritualistic, much like the mating dance of the peacock. Chests are puffed, feathers are fluffed, and property portfolios are analysed to check that you are both compatible. Now, let's go get in property, number one. I'm sorry, but it's really hard to not just talk shit when you're dressed up as a knobhead estate agent. So I think there's going to be a lot of that today. Right, let's go. Okay, so here it is, property number one. And looks all right. The houses next to it look nice. Small little terraced house. This one here. So here is the listing for property number one, and there's that £30,000 guide price. Everything I'm showing you today will go to auction, so we'll find out at the end of the video what they sell for. What is a guide price? It's an indication of a seller's minimum expectation at auction. I've seen houses in London go on for 100 grand and then sell for 500 grand, and I've seen houses in the northeast of England go on at 5 grand and not a single person bids on them. So it's a risky game, but it's always fun to watch. Now, what does it say about this house though? It requires complete modernisation. It's a leasehold house from 24th of December 1903, so it's got 875 years. A really long lease like that on a house probably isn't too bad, but you still don't actually own the land that the house is built on. So let's get inside, and as soon as that front door opened, I realised exactly why this house has that super low price tag. It really is something to behold, and there was a sign on the door saying House of Horrors, and I feel like this house is a home with stories to tell. And I don't think any of them have a happy ending. But yeah, let's keep walking through this house. Now, the first room you get to on your right is a living room. Living room that's absolutely trashed, filthy, mouldy, cobwebs just everywhere. And the crazy thing about this house is, I asked the estate agent, when was the last time someone lived in this? And they said someone was living in this house 3 weeks ago. Just let that sink in as you look round this other room. 3 weeks ago, someone was living here, and wait until you see the kitchen. It will blow your mind. Now that 30 grand price tag may be seeming a little bit expensive. I always get people saying, I hope you wear masks when you visit these houses. Of course I do. I have masks. And the mask came in very handy when looking at the kitchen. This truly is a living kitchen. You know, they're very popular these days. Is it inside? Is it outside? In the estate agent game, we call it close to nature. Now, it's crazy when you look at this room and then you think that someone was living in this house 3 weeks ago. I mean, that is utterly revolting. So I had to get out the kitchen because I felt like my mask might disintegrate, and it was time to head upstairs and see what other treats awaited us. And if someone had been living in this house recently, I'm guessing they spent most of their time up in this room lying on the mattress. There was just stuff everywhere. It was filthy. Now, the walls up here were actually all right. Nice Boys Own poster on there, very nice touch. What freaked me out though was, obviously this house is absolutely disgusting and it's deplorable that anyone could live in that, but this room on the end felt like a kid's room and like a young girl's room, because there was like Barbie posters up and pictures and stuff that felt like a very young girl had been living in this house. I just hope to God this was from a very long time ago and not recently. It now feels like what you'd see on a true crime documentary where someone had been kidnapped and forced to live for years. Gotta say, I did like the TV though, that was nostalgic. Brought back some memories of my youth. They don't make them like these anymore. Sadly, I couldn't just admire the fatback TV all day long. I had to venture further on into the hellhole and check out the bathroom, which I really didn't want to do, but in I went, and the way you think this bathroom smells is way worse. It is way, way worse. I could have done with 2 masks at this point. And obviously, this house, whoever gets it, has just got to rip everything out immediately. But even doing that job would be so, so grim. Is it worth it? And then one more room on the end that again had like loads of posters of games and stuff on the walls, making me think that potentially young people had been living here, which was super, super depressing. So this place does have a garden, and it is in fact the garden that's moved directly into the kitchen. Maybe there's stuff there that's affecting the structure, I don't know. Wow, that place was nasty. Real nasty. What do you reckon that's going to go for? Because it's going to auction. So guide price 30 grand. How much do you reckon a house like that needs to be done up to be sellable? I mean, it was totally trashed. Maybe structurally fucked with all the plants going through the walls. Maybe it's got knotweed, I don't know. But yeah, we will find out at the end of this video what all the properties do sell for at auction. So stick it, oh, sorry, 1 second. Turn It Property Sales and Lettings.
Turn It, mate. It's Dave. How are you?
Hi.
You all right?
Hi, Dave. You all right?
Are you busy?
Bit busy at the moment, mate. I'm just dropping my prop port fop all over the Gen Pop. What is it?
Look, mate, could I borrow your audience for like 1 minute?
Okay.
I've just got something to tell them.
All right,
it's
mate.
Really good.
Okay, if you're quick.
I'll be
okay.
so quick. I'll be so quick. You're a good man.
So me and my oldest mate Jack, you'll know Jack from the Bratislava video, we have spent our lives sat around talking nonsense, trying to invent something silly and fun, and we finally did it. And we came up with the Pubix Cube. The only thing to do when you're doing a number 2, featuring all your favourite characters such as Harry Houdini, Al Capone, Pablo Escobar. So we have done this entirely ourselves as 2 creative guys looking for another way to help support being creative in that industry. Now our first order has just come through. I can't believe it, we've sold one. So I thought I'd pack that today with you and send off our first order. So if you're looking for a silly Secret Santa gift this Christmas, a stocking filler that's still cube shaped, but a lot of people have been saying is better than a chocolate orange, then look no further than the Pubix Cube. It's fun, it's better than doom scrolling on your phone, and it's good for the brain. Go hit the link in the description, pubixcube.com. There's no discount codes or anything because it's all me and Jack's business. It's $11.99 for one. It's the perfect gift for this Christmas. So buying one of these is directly supporting me and Jack as we have done this all ourselves. It is all ours. So yeah, the Pubix Cube, we find it hilarious. I hope you do too. Back to the video. Okay, Dave, you done? All right, okay, cha-cha. Wow, okay. I hate being interrupted when I am in the state of flow that comes with showing property. There really is an art to it that I learned from Sun Tzu's The Art of War, which I carry around with me at all times. Now, the next property that we're going to view isn't a house. The next property is a shop for sale in Bolton. And as the last property was gross, it really was horrible. It was unpleasant. There was nothing wholesome or lovely about it. This is the opposite. This is a wedding dress shop or a wedding suit hire shop. So I can only assume it's going to be filled with the joys of what is your special day. And here it is, wedding suit hire. So what was it called? It's called Alts. And I've never actually viewed a shop before on this channel. I've never seen anything that is a retail premise, I don't think. It's gonna be super fun to go in and see what you can get for 20 grand, I think this is on. Check out the listing. So here it is, the listing for the wedding suit hire shop, and it's on for £20,000. Nice little unit, there's the date on it. It's been around since 1891. Now, class rules have changed recently, so you can change this to anything. You don't have to apply for anything. You could make this into a restaurant. You could do anything with this immediately, which makes the price look pretty good. And look at that, there we go. There are definitely remnants of the days. Oh, look at that waistcoat. Yeah, I'm very excited to get in. As a finely dressed man, this is going to really tick all my boxes. Let's get inside. So as I said, this is the first retail unit I've ever shown on my channel for sale, and I did a whole series called The Death of the High Street, so this should be quite interesting. And look at all these boxes. Boxes of old shoes they used to sell. Chengbo Gore shoes. I personally wear nothing else on my feet except Chengbo Gore shoes. They are the finest, we all know that. And then looking around, you can see all the old units where people would have, what would you call these? Dressing rooms, not units, where people once would have tried on those magnificent suits, getting ready for the greatest day of their lives. Now, just filled with rubbish. Outside the shop, a man standing proudly in his fine suit, looking dapper, full of class, full of elegance. Inside the shop, another man full of just as much elegance, just as much class, looking just as dapper. I really felt I was wearing the right attire to visit this shop. Now, going upstairs, you realise this place is a total mess. And I said because the class changes, you could turn this into anything. You can't turn it into a house. So it's very, very cheap, but you still have to keep it as a shop. That's the rule. You couldn't just buy it and then go, oh yeah, I'm going to live in it. It has to be kept as a shop. Now, I like this room because there's that waistcoat. Look at it. Oh, I wish I could try that on. There's too many people around. So it's crazy to think that this business, around since the 1800s, will once have had so much passion around it, and it's sad to see all the remnants still lying around. The suit jackets, the ties, the shirts and the pants. One day this business will have just said, yep, that's it, we're done, let's go, leave everything behind. Upstairs, and more nostalgia, I used to have that toilet bidet combo as a kid growing up. Big space up here though, not in great shape, but I'm sure someone would find use for it. What do you reckon? What would you turn this into if you were going to get it? A lot of people walking around, I could hear them saying they wanted to turn it into a takeaway. Now, I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't. As a man who loves looking fine, I saw this jacket and I just had to try it on. And I call this look the sailor who's at shore. Real fine wears that, and it actually was quite a nice fit for a man who likes his suit jackets slightly snug. Top off that look with a nice waistcoat and you really are ready to head to any event around the country. The races, check. A wedding, check. An award ceremony for the local estate agent of the year, check. Now, I had to get out because people were giving me funny looks. I had more interest in the suits than the actual building. But yeah, 20 grand. What will it sell for? We'll find out at the end. So there we go. What a shop. Incredible. Thoroughly enjoyed myself as a fine dressed man all the time. I'm one of the few out there that know that there is really no separation between a wedding suit and a normal suit. Real men with class dress well all the time, like me. So we've seen a retail unit. We're gonna go see another house. And I hope it's a lot better than the first house. But I thought we'd come have a look at some land that is for sale. Land really is the holy grail, isn't it? You don't have to buy something which is falling down or wrecked, or something that you have to spend loads of money doing it up. You can just build something new. Land really is what people want and has value. And this bit of land is on for £5,000. As I say, it'll go to auction, but what will it be like? Well, let me show you. It's this. That little patch of land there is on for £5,000. Here's the listing. So £10,000, not £5,000. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, all the properties I'm showing you today are either in Bolton or Greater Manchester. But yeah, there it is. The tiny little plot of land that could be yours. You've got to be a dreamer. You've got to be a dreamer. But they have put on this, what does it say? It says CGI image of what the house could look like. And to me, that seems a lot wider than it could possibly be when you actually look at it from the outside. Okay, so it is small. Obviously, you've got that house there and the road there. I think what it is someone's garden. What someone's had as their garden. They've probably just gone, oh, I'll have this as my garden, put a fence up. But they don't actually own it. So this bit of land may stretch further back. I mean, the picture on the move, on Rightmove, makes it look a lot wider than you'd think it could possibly be. Now, luckily, along with The Art of the Deal by a certain President of the USA, I also carry in this bag at all times a tape measure. So I'm going to measure just how wide this bit of area is, and we can get some scope on it. Going terribly. Ow. You could probably only have it about 10 foot wide. I don't know what the average width of a house is. Let's look at the average width of a house, but it's going to be a very narrow house. So the average width of a house, a terraced house in the UK, is 17 feet wide. Past the house where they put a fence up around it, like a garden, and then looking at the listing, it also has this bit on it here included, like a big parking space as well. And all that. I mean, the thing is, you're going to piss off all the neighbours immediately, aren't you? By trying to build that house there. It's a tiny bit of land, guys. £10,000. The house is meant to be put there. We'll find out. Follow it to auction. Crazy. Let's get on to the final house, the final property for sale. We've covered it all. We've covered housing, retail, land, and we're back to housing. And I'm hoping it's a good one. It's cheap again, but hopefully it's not in a bad state, or as a bad state as the first one. Let's do it. I love the smell of commission in the morning. Now here we are at the final property. Property number 4 of the day. Another house. Another one on for 30 grand. It's over here. So it's your end terrace on a nice row going down there of terraces, all looking pretty the same. And up there, let's go have a look behind it. So this has the very Lancashire feel of back-to-back terraced houses. I've featured streets like this so often on my channel. The endless rows that just go on and on and on. I really like them. Your houses on every side, everyone's got a small little garden, not much. Back in the day, real community vibes would have been had on these streets. Like Horden, who remembers the Horden video? Which was exactly like this. Sadly, that place had fallen from grace, but once a fine mining town. Right, let's go wait for the estate agent to show up and let's have a look. Oh, actually, I think this is the back of it. Oh God, it doesn't look good, guys. It doesn't look good at all. So the remains of some sort of garage. Okay, here we go. The listing for the last house, and another one being teased at us for that ludicrously cheap price of £30,000. Let's have a little bit more of a look at the listing. Again, another leasehold house. So it's 990-year lease. It's got 875 years unexpired on this. So you're going to have it for a while unless you live a very long time. I actually found a recent sale history from nearby of a house on this street that went for 170 grand in 2024. So yeah, I reckon this one's going to go for way over 30 grand. But let's get inside and have a look round. I'm really hoping this one's nice for you guys. I'd love to show you a bargain, something that could be a home on this channel. And already, it's nicer than the first house we showed round, isn't it? It is still a mess. Can't open that door, but it's definitely nicer than the first house. I mean, the floor just looks like it needs a proper good hoover. And luckily, there was actually a hoover here, except it just looks like no one could be bothered to use it. But yeah, it's dirty, it's grotty. The walls look totally fine though. It really just feels like it could have done with a big clean beforehand. Now that first house I showed you, you walk in and you just go, nah, fuck that. However, this one, I genuinely think, give me a week, and I know nothing about building, I could make this place look quite nice. And also, it comes with this fantastic timepiece. Match that with that waistcoat I showed you earlier, and you are really ready to hit the town. Now through to the kitchen, and although it is messy, at least it's not harbouring wild wildlife. And you could easily just gut all this, strip all this back. This house, I really do think people will go for. I bet this flies way, way, way above the guide price. And through to the back, which is the bit that I showed you from the outside. And it has this cool, like, garage area. And I know it looks like a state right now, but I genuinely love, like, a little workshop area on the end of my house like this. You could do that pretty easily, sort that roof out. That wouldn't be hard. You've got a banging outside space. I actually really like this place. Now, this house is actually part furnished. These lovely bed sheets come with the property, so you can have them, chuck them straight on your bed, and let's head upstairs. Please don't let me down. You've been actually pleasantly surprising me so far. And again, room on the end actually seems all right. There's no mold. It's just a bit grotty. Good bit of storage there. So the wallpaper in this room is what is making it look bad. I genuinely think if you stripped all that back, it'd be all right. There's a little bit of dampy mold stuff there, but I think that is just on the wallpaper. And then we went into the bathroom, and this is where it did get gross. You always let me down. Why is it always the bathrooms? I've heard here that the mold actually might be heritage listed and could be hard to get rid of. Well, yeah, absolutely gross. Look at that. That really is bad. However, it is one room in a house where the rest of it wouldn't take you too long at all to get looking half decent. So I reckon this place is going to go for 100k plus. And I really wanted to get downstairs, grab that Hoover and go around. That would be so, so satisfying. Oh yeah, and the bed sheets. They're not bed sheets. They're hazmat suits. I could have done with one of them in that first house. Yeah, fascinating. There we go. The last one viewed. I mean, not actually too bad. What I'll do now is I'll pass you over to the auction. Let's go to the auction and see what everything sells for. All 4 things will be going to sale. Maybe they won't all sell, maybe they will. Let's go find out, and then we'll finish up the vid. All right, here we go. The auction has happened, and I followed all these properties to the auction, and it's crazy, guys. It's absolutely crazy. So let's start at the beginning with the house that was on for 30 grand guide price. Do you remember this one? This one, the one with the kitchen that looks like it's been attacked by the Amazon jungle. Well, this sold for, and I couldn't believe this because no one bid on it at all until right at the end. And then there was a crazy bidding war, and it sold for £103,000. Oh my God. I'm starting to think that maybe there's just no cheap houses out there anymore. They're all gone. They have gone. Right, next one. The wedding suit hire shop. Do you remember this one where I wore them fantastic waistcoats? I really did get to try on some lovely, lovely garments in here. It was on for £20,000. It sold for £118,000. Maybe the high street isn't dead. I will come back in about 6 months and see if anything has happened to this. And then there's the land. Do you remember the land that was on for 10 grand? And I said you'd have to be a dreamer. Well, interestingly, this didn't sell. No one wanted it. Apparently, it is just a pipe dream. And interestingly, the guide price went up last minute. I don't understand that. And then finally, the house at the end that I actually quite liked, the one with the hazmat suits that needed a Hoover. Well, this one, and I said it's going to go for over 100 grand. The first house, which was absolutely shocking, sold for 100 grand. So I was not surprised at all when this went for £181,000. It really, really is hard to find cheap houses out there anymore. These guide prices get you in, they hook you in, and then they just all still sell for, well, quite a lot of money. I reckon this one could be nice though. As always, thank you so much for watching. It's great to chuck on my estate agent outfit and have a bit of fun. Until next time, Turnip Property Sales and Lettings.